welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we are going to look at trauma and healing via the tarot, astrology, some Ayurveda, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. Excuse me. My throat chakra's been closing up a lot lately. You know, trauma is a really hard topic. It's something that's extremely difficult to move through. Obviously, what would bring one here to kind of just look in between the deeper layers and really figure out places to be able to grow, evolve, process through. So we're not so stuck in this space of reliving that experience over and over and over again. Or, you know, maybe it's been oftentimes, I guess I should say, is it's like a myriad of experiences. It isn't just one thing. And that's definitely been coming up a lot lately in the collective, where we're remembering different things that have happened, that have transpired, people, situations that have catered towards the events at hand. And, you know, they talk about how trauma actually creates specific pathways in the brain that are extremely hard to unlearn. Like, you basically have to knock them out, you know, and rebuild new connections in order to overcome. And Ayurveda sees it in the same way, where we shove trauma into the deepest layers of our being, because it's essentially unprocessed ama, or toxins within our body. And when we don't know how to process things, especially when it is the mental, emotional, the knee-jerk reaction is going to be to not have to look at it, because it is heavy. It is heavy. And I feel like that's also why we can be in a situation, in a setting, and something gets triggered and it pulls you right back into that space as if you're reliving it all over again. And that's a lot of the stuff that's kind of just been looming in the energy lately. Things are getting better on one hand, or we're not feeling as much of the reverberations around some of the tougher stuff or the constant battle day in and day out. It's more the repercussions, the reverberations, like I was saying, the things that we kind of have to figure out how to live with in real time. That's why I like to start these readings off with an energy cleansing. It just helps set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out any of the blocks, obstacles we might be coming into. It's a really good time to set your own intention for this reading as well, especially if you do have something on your heart or mind that you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over to and be open to receive. It really does work. I promise. Spirit loves to speak to us in all different ways. And I also offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are just looking for a realignment of self, your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. You probably know better than anyone that when we are balanced, when we are aligned with self, when we are knowing who and what we need in any given moment, in any time, how valuable that is. And it really is important when we're working towards happiness, fulfillment, success, abundance, etc. We all deserve that, right? And I would love to help support you in that in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up if you're interested. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right. So lots of things going on. I feel like just a lot of thoughts, a lot of maybe some overwhelming. I don't know, like you feel like this is normal. So I don't know how different it is for you. There is a little bit of exhaustion, tiredness, finding it hard to find time to process through this week. We've kind of had some bullying energy around us. The way Black Moon Lilith has been tensely aspected to Pluto, as well as to Mercury, the moon. It's given this energy of people really kind of trying to force the issue, get what they want, especially when they don't really care about the reciprocity or that value of, right, giving and receiving. And there are some things that are coming out of the woodwork. We're actually just coming off of this full moon in Capricorn. So I feel like there are some things that are coming out of the woodwork that are really forcing you to kind of contend with some of this stuff. And even if it is just this value of past traumas being triggered because of what is presently going on in your life. We've been seeing this a lot around recognizing that it is supporting that value of healing. Like I talked about, Ayurveda looks at it like we shove it way down within our mind, our body, our soul. That's the root cause of disease. And eventually it comes up, right? Eventually it comes up. And there are some things that are coming up. And here's the thing, the full moon was a lot about breaking free. We have this beautiful trine in the astrology that's called the magic triangle, and it's helping us to feel optimistic and hopeful about what is on the horizon. And I feel like in a lot of ways it's brought you to the place that you're in right now, why you are pushing through so hard, because it's not worth it for you to stay trapped in the old. It's not worth it to you to stay trapped in this trauma, so to speak. Unfortunately, we are having to deal with, well, right now, highlighting, there's like, well, as I'm recording this, there's 3 planets in retrograde: Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, and Mercury is about to go into retrograde. So retrogrades always have this energy of rehashing the past. But there's a lot of things that are kind of up in the air right now. And I feel like there's a lot of decisions to make. You're ending things and starting new, right? We're going from the last quarter to the first quarter. And so much of it is how this energy is playing out in our life. Like, we're going to be seeing that firsthand, 100%. You are seeing that. What was I hearing? Like as I was preparing for this reading, it's like people who are getting you to look away or are trying to kind of keep you stuck in this thought pattern, in this belief. It's not only, trauma is, in the science behind it, it really kind of talks about how it's this feeling that it's going to last forever. And it's not necessarily a story. Like, it doesn't have a beginning, middle, and an end. It's isolated. The way our brain receives it is it's isolated incidences. That's why smells, whatever, music, surroundings can trigger all those things. And I feel like, I don't know, there are some things obviously closing out for you within this that I think is healing. It's bittersweet because there are some energies around that, like, I don't know, it is taking a lot of extra effort. This is specifically Venus tensely aspected to Mars. People who don't really understand what we're doing and why. Mars has this call right now to settle down, settle down and like put the energy, the effort towards like building stability. But if something's just trying to push ahead, kind of turn a blind eye to something, getting really emotional about what things are, that's going to come out. And the moon is tensely aspected to Mercury right now. And so it's easy for people's real thoughts, real intentions to be highlighted. And you know this, again, like going back to that first message, like this is not anything new to you. I feel like what has been awkward has been the in-between. Feeling almost trapped inside of someone or something that can't be escaped. But it's not the truth. Regardless of where you're at within this dynamic, regardless of, you know, what kind of trauma this is that you have experienced, 3 of Swords, you're still grieving through it. Give yourself time and space. And that's really hard to do. It's hard to be in grief. It's hard to be in sadness. And it's hard to start new life. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. Like I said, you're fighting for it. You want it so badly. But there's so many things that go into that. And whomever, whatever you're dealing with is limiting. It's like, I feel like, here's the thing, like, it looks like you have to find this level of acceptance. Someone, something is not going to give you that. They're not going to give you the clarity. They're not going to give you the validation because they just can't, right? It's this energy of not being able to be honest and vulnerable, of not being able to be transparent, just hoping things that things will completely move forward in a way where they don't have to be readdressed. And this is part of the hurt because you really have no other options. Not that this is the most like, I feel like for you, this is a lot about like, you have to make other options because it is about your future, because it is about, literally, it's connected to your quality of life. It's connected to your quality of well-being. And you know this. This is something that's like hard to walk away from. It's something that's hard to get someone or something to agree, to comply. It's forced you to go into this mode of like, I have to put myself first in order to, and it's hard because like, it's almost like you have to present as though you have the strength, you have the courage, when inside it doesn't feel like that. Inside, your heart is breaking, right? And that's so difficult, but again, it is a fight for something better. And whatever is holding back, limiting this energy that you're dealing with, it's not your responsibility. It's not your fault. It's actually kind of pointing out where things might be, where patterns might be playing out, where things might be in your life, because they're helping you heal some of the trauma, right? And not to be so, I don't know, whatever about it. Like, I'm not trying to downplay it. It's just this, like, it's painful. It's really hard to be in these spaces. And that's, again, why it's so easy to buy into this belief that it's never going to end. It's never going to get better. Like, you're hopeful, but you're kind of tired of being hopeful at the same time. And this liminal space, it's in your blocked energy. Liminal space is like when we haven't closed out the old and we haven't really started the new, and we're just like in this really awkward in-between. It feels like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself for it to look a certain way. Remember that, like, when we have time, when things slow down, retrogrades, it's important to take time to, like, focus, love, heal on yourself. Because here's the thing, you are still closing things out. You're still closing things out that, like, want options, that want opportunity, that aren't really settled with, I mean, certain things have not been settled. And I don't know if this is specifically related to, if it's just kind of provoking, reminding you of that trauma, or there's some trauma responses happening in this dynamic. But there's a reason they're happening, right? There's a reason energy feels the same. Ayurveda's all, especially when we're in these times where either our nervous system is kind of shot, our mental, emotional, really take time to rest. You know, put priority on your healing. Even though it's not fun to sit in the grief, this goes back to that Mars energy I was talking about. If we listen to what we need in this moment, it's going to make us way stronger for this new beginning. Because things are going to be picking up, right? Like you've already set this intention. That's what new moons are all about. They're like, hey, I want to see this manifest in my life. And this is basically saying it's coming to you. Actually, full moons are manifestation cards. Oftentimes there's a natural order, right? So we have to kind of see some things end, close out in order to move into that new space. You don't, just be mindful maybe with your, I don't know, sorry not to sound annoying. I'm just trying to say, like, don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. You don't need to. This Page of Wands energy is like feeling guilty, feeling responsible, feeling like you have to do all these things. And maybe you just don't. Maybe you can take a beat. Maybe you can just like honor yourself. Maybe you can shelve some things, like I'm hearing like petty bullshit. You can shelve it and put it on the back burner and actually just like focus on the things that need to be paid attention to within your own heart. And specifically, what do I mean by that? That's processing through, right? Whether you're like journaling or you're having a conversation with yourself or someone else, or maybe a hypothetical conversation, writing a letter, burning it, there's so many different ways that we can like pull up some of the stuff that needs to be looked at, that needs to be addressed, so that we can let go, so that we can heal. Keep trying 100%. Things aren't over yet. Again, liminal space is in our blocked energy. The reason, astrologically, it looks like the reason things keep coming up, unfortunately, is so that we can find creative solutions, so that we can honor ourselves a little bit more. Saturn and Neptune in retrograde in Aries is asking us to trust ourselves, to trust our instincts. When we do, that's really where we're connecting with this abundance. That's where we're saying, hey, this is what I deserve. This is what I am worth. This is what's valuable. This let go and bury card has been coming up a lot for us too. Pluto's also in retrograde, endings and new beginnings. It is the energy of the phoenix. And I feel like the phoenix is appropriate for you because it is about burning away the old. The beauty when we do that, and then we emerge and we rise from the ashes, is you can cultivate who and what you want to be. You can cultivate what you want your abundance to look like. This is your story, right? This life you're living is your story. It's your time to be the star. And maybe that sounds cheesy, but it's effing true, and a lot of times, especially if we're in abusive or traumatic relationships, toxic relationships, they really try to downplay that, right? They're really trying to put themselves first as a mode of control. And so much of shedding the trauma, the experience, even if you went through a physical trauma or a natural disaster or something, and like people aren't validating you, it's the same thing. It's the same bullying energy. And people are trying to like get out of what they did right now. There's this energy of things being rehashed. Those 4 planets in retrograde, they're more of our outer planets aside from Mercury, which is directly connecting to spiritual growth and evolution. And when you're resisting that, it like doesn't leave you alone. That's why it is so important. And I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying that like that's the value, that's the underlying value of you connecting with these emotions. I'm not so worried about you because I know that a lot of this is moving in that direction of healing in a positive way, in a way that you really want to go. It's just about being a little bit more gentler with yourself through the process and honoring your heart. Again, Ayurveda is huge into self-care routine. Just any moment you get, shave off to-dos, get rid of stuff that doesn't need to be on your plate, and do some things for yourself. Meditate, do a massage, do some yoga, walk outside, just things that eat good food, that are nurturing and supportive to your soul. Journal, read something inspirational. All those things that we do, they cater towards that Mars energy, Mars and Virgo, of building the stability, building the strong foundation for yourself. Because you are ready to shed this. Your energy is even saying that. You're ready to step into the new. And part of that is releasing, letting go of the old in the process. So Thank you so much for your time, energy always. I hope you enjoyed the messages here. I hope you found messages that resonated for you. Just know I'm sending you all the love, all just good vibes as you navigate whatever you're moving through. I hope that this reading helped just give a little love to your heart. Definitely drop comments below if you want to connect. I would love to say, hey, I appreciate your time, energy, all you bring to the channel. Thank you so much. Know that I'm sending all the love and blessings your way.